Ms. Anderson, are there any items for public comment?
We have no public comments for this evening.
And I'd like to also take a moment just to be sure to direct the public's attention to the website, and it has very specific information in reference to public comment as consistent with policy 903. As we continue, I'd like to just take another moment to thank Mr. Selmer for his leadership. I'd like to thank our teachers, our staff, the administrative team, and for the board, just for the tireless work and the ongoing and the incredible work that's being done behind the scenes, and to ensure that students and families are supported consistently. So thank you so very much. And I'd like to now turn the meeting over to Mr. Selmer.
Thank you, Dr. Samuels. Good evening.
Good evening.
Section 4 is presentations, and I'm pleased that we have our Harrisburg High School John Harris administrative team here with Dr. Sneath. So I will turn it over to Dr. Sue Sneath, our Chief Academic Officer.
Good evening, everyone. We are excited to have the Harrisburg High School John Harris Campus administrative team here to present to you, Dr. Samuels, the 2021 Program of Studies for Harrisburg High School. So I am going to turn it over to Interim Principal Dr. Jay Butterfield, Michelle Felton, Lena Cordero, and Mr. Dwight Forster.
Good evening, everyone. We're delighted to be here to present with you and to share our concept of the Program of Studies. We'll be moving rather quickly through this presentation, but the document is there for your review and consult. We want you to understand that the purpose of this document really takes us beyond just a course selection guide. And so I'll kick it over at this time to, I believe, Ms. Cordero, who will talk a little bit about our purpose.
Sure, thanks, Dr. Butterfield. Good evening, everybody. So our purpose for our Program of Studies includes building a roadmap for our students during their 4 years at John Harris. Along with their roadmap, we're providing them with a variety of classes and choices that students would be interested in throughout those 4 years. The Program of Studies also provides teachers choice as well, as they had input in deciding on some of the courses that they'd be interested in teaching. As we move through the Program of Studies, and you can check the pages out as you move along, the Program of Studies is pretty easy to follow. Students are immediately introduced to who their counselors are going to be for the academic school year based on last names, and who their administrators will be in the building. Following this piece of the Program of Studies, the courses are laid out by credits, so students know every year what they need to earn, and they are able to choose which classes they want for their electives. At the end of the Program of Studies, all the courses are laid out for students to read the descriptions, and they can begin to think about what is required and what could be of interest for an elective. Moving on, we'll pass it on to Ms. Felton.
Good evening, everyone. Our 2021 Program of Studies builds upon our strengths and includes some significant shifts that will provide increased opportunity and choice for our students. One shift is the increase in the opportunity for the amount of credits a student earns. With the implementation of a building-wide semester block schedule, students will have the opportunity to earn 33 credits. Students will now have space in their schedules to take advanced courses, participate in dual enrollment opportunities, and cooperative education opportunities. They will also have the ability to retake courses when necessary during the school day, decreasing the need for self-directed credit recovery programs. This new schedule will also allow students to have increased instructional time in mathematics with a double block of Algebra 1 during the very critical 9th grade year. As Ms. Cordero said, our students will have a great deal of choice and opportunity with our new Program of Studies, and as such, they will be able to take a variety of elective courses based on their interests, academic needs, and college and career goals. They will be able to select from current courses and many new elective offerings that are across multiple career pathways. For example, a student interested in computer science and video game design will now also be able to explore other interests such as creative writing and theater arts. In order to offer this level of choice, our teachers have been engaged in curriculum writing and the exploration of course resources during this time of school closure, in addition to their remote teaching responsibilities. So we are very appreciative of the efforts of all of our teachers in making sure that we were ready to roll with our program of studies next year. Our students have a lot to navigate now, so we are firming up the structure of our advisory period. Students have a lot to consider when navigating their high school journey, and as such, we are strengthening our current advisory structure. All students at John Harris campus will be assigned a faculty advisor to assist with making the choices that are right for them. Based on next year's projected enrollment, each teacher, counselor, and some select support staff at our campus will check in daily with 12 to 14 students during the advisory period. Students will meet with advisors daily for 30 minutes, and during this time, they will talk about behavioral goals, personal goals, academic goals, and anything else that's relevant to ensure their success in school, both academically and social emotionally. One other shift that we are very excited about is the restoration of our school clubs. All students will have the opportunity to participate in after-school clubs ranging from anime to our drama club that's in partnership with Gamut Theater. We have also instituted a student advisory group that will be meeting regularly with building administration, because we believe that it is key to bring our students to the decision-making table and that they have a voice in everything that happens in their school. I'm now going to turn it over to Dr. Butterfield once again so that he can discuss a little more in depth about our timeline and next steps for implementation of the items within our program of study.
So what's really important about this document is that we know it is our next step in moving our children forward into their future and giving them the best possible footing for a competitive life and a successful life in the world of work and higher education. Having said that, we also know that we would like to get started on this work sooner for the 21-22 school year. That means that literally this summer we'll begin working on this document for the following school year, with the hope of preparing it in draft form for the district leadership by late September, early October, and then presenting it to the school board in November. So this will accelerate our preparation, will improve our ability to deliver this information to our students in a timely manner, and will allow us to get the master schedule underway in January of 2021. So we're looking very forward-minded as we go forward with these documents. And we also want to make sure that as the students receive that selection guide in 2021, that they have the best possible view of what their pathway might be as they move forward. At this point now, I'll kick it over to Mr. Forrester, who will close it out for us.
So good evening, everybody. So to wrap up, our program of studies was created, the document was created to provide consistency, accountability for students, staff, and administrators. The key to our success will be having everybody on the same page, everybody focused on the same thing, and providing classes that students are interested in, students want to be a part of, and students want to succeed in. All of the classes that are being provided for them. So with that being said, thank you. And that's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, high school team, for sharing. And again, once again, this is designed to ensure that the very best is provided for students as we prepare them to be successful, both now and into the future. The program of studies is a very, very important document that we hope the entire Harrisburg community will actually preview, will take a look at, and share questions, but to see what amazing opportunities and options will be presented for students is very, very important. So thank you all very much for sharing.
Yeah, I too want to thank the team, Dr. Samuels, because this roadmap is critical to how we move forward once we're back under a normal educational setting with the John Harris High School. And this framework, along with the work that's being done with the master schedule, will be critical in addition to the restoration of the club and positive activities our students can be involved with. This is a really exciting framework and next step as we continue to push forward in the Harrisburg School District. So thank you to the high school team for all your hard work and effort. You've been working months on this, and we really appreciate all the hard work. So thank you.
Thank you. As we continue, Mr. Selmer, would you please proceed with updates?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Samuels.
Thank you very much.
It's been a extremely busy month, as it has been with everyone, with the COVID-19 situation and how the school district has been working extremely hard to respond to support all the students within the Harrisburg School District. So I want to make a couple announcements. There'll be correspondence forthcoming to our parents and guardians. There'll be a message posted tonight, and there'll be a letter posted tomorrow. And I want to take a few minutes and just review the highlights of what will be posted for our families. So we are actually at the 1 month point since COVID-19 has really changed the way in the landscape of education in the state of Pennsylvania. And we felt it was appropriate as a team to put together a document for parents, just updating you what has happened in the past 4 weeks and what are we looking to do moving forward into the future. And the letter will outline for you, again, the past couple of weeks, which has included much work on the academic side of our organization. So we've developed a comprehensive academic enrichment portal. That was one of the first responses we made when the governor decided to shut schools down. At that point, it was a temporary shutdown. We partnered almost immediately with WITF to provide programming that was linked to existing curriculum that was being delivered in our brick and mortar school setting. In early April, we began exploring a partnership with the city of Harrisburg, which led to the unveiling of our individualized programming that debuted last week on Channel 20. That is a combination of programming that's recorded and delivered from our teachers, who I must say did a fantastic job delivering that instruction virtually and recording that instruction from their homes. And we also included pre-recorded instruction through our Eureka Math program. So we have K-5 enrichment for ELA and K-8 actually instruction and enrichment for mathematics. So again, a very unique partnership across the state with the goal of always reaching as many students as possible within the Harrisburg School District, regardless of their technological situation home by home. We decided that we needed to have a multifaceted approach to reach our students. We then organized, in working with our IT team and our high school team, a 9 to 12 device distribution drive, which occurred last week and finished up this afternoon. I'm pleased to share that over 71% of our families came to the drive and picked up a Chromebook. And so we're very excited about that. And we think, again, it gives us a great opportunity as far as our continuity of education plan and what the high school has put together to really stay connected and deliver meaningful enrichment instruction to our students during this very difficult time. And we formally set schedules for our teachers, which included check-in sessions with our students as well as office hours. So that all occurred, including our food distribution drive and many other efforts that I may have missed within that first month. So as a parent, I'm asking, what is next? What does the next month look like? What is the school district working on now that Governor Wolf on April 9th announced that we are going to be closed for the remainder of the school year? What is the school district going to be doing next? And in the letter that will be posted, we are going to discuss next steps, which included a message that I sent out this morning via our robocall system, which had to do with our learning journals, the purpose behind our learning journals, and again, what they can be utilized for students K through 12 as you're working on reflecting. You can reflect on, the times we're in, which are, they're scary times. They're historic times. There's things that happen on a century basis, and that's what we're living in right now. It could be to reflect on your reading, your writing, just your critical academic skills that we want you to continue to stay engaged with as we work through this very difficult time. We actually, through our partnership with WITF, tomorrow, we're having a bilingual Clifford book distribution drive. And we're very excited about that. So at all our food distribution sites, we are going to be distributing Clifford books, which are bilingual Clifford books for our families. So that's very exciting. And again, we thank WITF. They have been a tremendous partner of the school district, specifically since the COVID-19 situation hit the nation. They have really stepped up to support the Harrisburg School District. So thank you to WITF. We are preparing a second distribution drive for a different grade level band within the Harrisburg School District. I will be making that announcement on Wednesday, between Wednesday and Thursday of this week. There will be an announcement about our distribution drive that will happen next week here in the Harrisburg School District. The school district applied for an equity grant through the Pennsylvania Department of Education. We're awaiting a response to that grant application. We're hoping we will receive news by the middle or end of this week regarding that equity grant. If we're successful in application of that grant, that could open up another wave of technology to another grade band within the Harrisburg School District. So again, I will keep parents, families, and the community posted as we learn news on that grant application. The team is starting to work on a transitional enrichment enrichment program. As we know, we recognize that no matter what the transition looks like to a normal school day setting, it may not look the same as pre-COVID-19. And so we understand as an administration and as a district, we need to look at how that transition looks going from our current situation back into a brick and mortar building, learning environment. And so the district is starting to work on plans regarding that. And we're also starting to look at what's next school year could look like if there's certain restrictions on number of students that are allowed to be in a building at one time, how many students you could have at a cafeteria at one time, et cetera. So the district has developed committees where we're already starting to plan for different scenarios if they were to occur for the start of next school year, including if we would be in the same situation we are today. What does that look like for the next school year? So again, we hope we're back to a normal school day operation, but we need to do our due diligence as a school district and administration to prepare for the many unknowns that we could face as this COVID-19 situation continues to evolve through the state of Pennsylvania. Dr. Samuels, I believe that completes my current update for you and the community. So thank you.
Thank you very much for the comprehensive update. And once again, there's so many things that are happening as a result of COVID-19 that impact school districts and the way we proceed and support children. So I know there's much more to come. So thank you very much for sharing that, Mr. Selmer.
Thank you, Dr. Samuels.
I'd like to ask if we could please commence with items for approval and recommendations.
Sounds good. Thank you, Dr. Samuels. So under the Office of Superintendent, I do have 2 items for your consideration. Item B is the request for the approval with Blackboard Connect for a downloadable mobile communication app that we can use to connect with our students, staff, and family. This was something that was underway prior to the COVID situation that we've been working on, and we believe it is a wise investment, specifically with the situation that we are now in, to move this forward. So I'm asking for your approval. The costs are on the resolution, and it would be paid for by the general fund.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Selmer. And when we think about the importance of communication, this certainly underscores that. The recommendation for the Blackboard mobile app for the time period that stems from July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2023 at a cost of $3,450 per year. And the source of funding, of course, is the general fund. The recommendation is approved.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And item C is a resolution for the 2020 graduation. And I just want to note that this is a resolution that's technically not required to be on, but Dr. Samuels and I felt it was appropriate to put this on the agenda so the public could see this code and understand what it means. So I'm requesting the receiver support with the authority granted by 22 PA Code 4.51, which allows the superintendent, in this case the acting superintendent, the ability to waive school district graduation requirements. The statutory authority would be used to ensure the class of 2020 is not negatively impacted as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Great, thank you. And as Mr. Selmer mentioned, our goal is to support all students. And given this uncertain time, we'd like to be sure that students move forward and are able to graduate. And I also want to note something Mr. Selmer mentioned earlier is that the state requires 21 credits for graduation. This gives latitude, and there are still high expectations for students in terms of graduation projects, etc. But this adds a bit of support so that we're able to ensure that there is an embracing and support for our high school seniors. The recommendation to amend the policy in reference to graduation for the 2019-2020 school year is approved.
Thank you, Dr. Samuels.
Thank you.
Now the transition the meeting to Ms. Lillis for Office of Human Resources. Ms. Lillis.
Thank you, Mr. Selmer. I have a number of items listed today for approval. I would like to start with requesting approval of the new job description for the math interventionist per the attached.
Yes. The recommendation from the Office of Human Resources by way of Ms. Lillis in reference to modifying the job description for the mathematics interventionist is approved.
Thank you. I'd also like to request approval of the 2 retirements that are listed. Mr. Norman Ellis, 6th grade teacher at Camp Curtin, with 22 years of service with the district, and Suzanne Williams, our Title I math teacher at Downey Elementary School, and her 36 years of service with the district.
First and foremost, we'd like to thank both Mr. Ellis and Ms. Williams for their many years of service to the Harrisburg School District. The recommendation to approve their retirements effective the end of the school year, the recommendation is approved.
Thank you. We have 2 new staff members listed. Number 1 is Adam Allenbach, a math teacher for Marshall Math and Science, and also Layla Obusin, a speech therapist for Scott Elementary School, effective the beginning of the new school year.
Thank you. The recommendation to approve and to welcome the 2 new staff members, it is approved. Again, on behalf of the school district, it is a pleasure to welcome the new staff members that will begin working with our students in August 2020. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And my final item under Human Resources is a listing of 3 individuals for family medical leave.
Yes. And one of the items that we are aware of is that family medical leave does not have to be officially approved, but we listed here in the Harrisburg School District as a point of information. So the family medical leave for the 3 individuals as reflected is a point of information for all. Thank you very much for sharing, Ms. Lillis.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lillis. I'd like to move to Office of Business Services, Mr. George Longridge.
Thank you, Mr. Selmer. Good evening, everyone. Dr. Samuels, this evening I have several items for your review and consideration. The first item is requesting your approval of an agreement with Forecast 5 Analytics. This is planning, analysis, and forecasting software. It's an agreement that would run from April 1st, 2020 through June 30th of 2021. The amount of the contract is $13,017.20. Funding will come from the general fund budget.
Thank you, Mr. Longridge. And once again, welcome to the Harrisburg School District. We're delighted to work with you. We're delighted to have you work with us to serve us. Thank you.
Thank you.
The recommendation for the agreement with Forecast 5 Analytics for the time period that includes April 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021 in the amount of $13,017.20. And this amount will generate or be taken from the general fund is approved.
Thank you, Dr. Samuels.
Thank you.
The next item I have is a review and approval of the treasurer's report for March. Just to quickly review some of these items. The cash balance as of February 29th, 2020 was $34,690,659.12. Receipts for the month were local receipts, $1,770,399.70. State receipts, $4,688,684.37. Federal receipts, $397,493.28. And we had $14,187.17 of interest income. Total receipts for the month, we had $6,870,764.52. Our expenditures for the month, we had vendor checks of $2,189,809.56. Wire payments in the amount of $1,577,293.80. And payroll checks and bank wires of $9,049,797.57. So total expenditures for the month, $12,816,900.93. So as of March 31st, 2020, the total cash balance for the district, $28,744,522.71. Our investments for the district, we have various investments all within board policy, and they're listed by depository. The bulk of those investments are in PSDLAF, the PNC General Fund. It's at 1.33%. That's at $12,773,247.83. We have a certificate of deposit, and that is listed for your review. It's an itemized listing. That's $7 million. And then there are other smaller accounts for your review as well. And then smaller funds are listed. That's our trust fund, our capital reserve fund, capital projects fund, cafeteria fund, and the student activity funds. These are all fiduciary funds that the district has oversight on. So I submit this for your review and your approval this month, Dr. Samuels.
Thank you, Mr. Longridge, and thank you for sharing the highlights. The recommendation for the treasurer's report ending with the time period of March 31st, 2020 is approved.
Thank you, Dr. Samuels. The next item I have for your consideration this evening is one budget transfer in the amount of $4,000.
Okay. The budget transfer in the amount of $4,000 from the 2019-20 school budget is approved.
The next item is a ratification of account payable checks. We have several check runs that we did at the end of March and then also in the beginning of April. March 25th, our check run was in the amount of $586,347. All of the detail for these check runs is attached to the agenda for tonight. April 1st, we did a batch account payable run, $1,224,053.45. April 7th, we did an ACH wire in the amount of $1,376,514.51. April 8th, we did an account payable run, $1,192,197.31. April 15th, we did a check run, $2,966,569.23. And April 17th, we did ACH or wires in the amount of $1,370,932.63. Submit these for your approval tonight. Dr. Samuels.
Thank you for sharing. The recommendation for the ratification of account payable checks for the dates that reflect March 25th, April 1st, April 7th, April 8th, April 15th, and April 17th, 2020 are approved.
And finally, this evening, Dr. Samuels, ratification of our payroll. We ran several batches. On March 13th, we ran a payroll process of $304,641.39. March 20th, we ran 3 batches in the amount of $1,792,550.01. We ran a second one in the amount of $2,875.24, and a third one in the amount of $651.23. On April 3rd, we ran 2 batches. The first one in the amount of $1,159,061.03. And the second batch was in the amount of $826.27. And then on April 17th, we ran a payroll process of $1,160,209.89. Submit these for your approval tonight.
Thank you. The ratification of payroll processing for checks and for payroll rather reflected for the following dates. March 13th, there are 3 for March 20th, and there are 2 for April 3rd, and finally April 17th. Those 7 payroll items for processing are approved.
Okay.
Thank you very much for sharing, Mr. Longholt.
Thank you, Dr. Samuels.
Thank you, Mr. Longridge. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Longridge. We will move to Office of Academics, Dr. Sneath.
Good evening, Dr. Samuels and everyone. I have 2 things to request approval for. I request approval for the high school program of studies. As you can see from our presentation, the new program of studies provides all of the mandates provided by the Department of Education, and also creates opportunities for students to explore their passions through various updated course opportunities. So I request approval for this new document.
Great. It is a pleasure, quite a pleasure. And once again, our thanks to the high school team, our thanks to you and the team, Dr. Sneath. The recommendation for the revised program studies for the 2020-2021 school year is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Additionally, I request approval for a modification of the 2019-2020 district school calendar. I would like to reinstate the date of April 28th as a regular day of planned instruction. This day was initially an Act 80 day for students due to the need to use our schools as a polling location. When the polling was moved to June 2nd, we of course no longer need to use the day for an Act 80 day. So we would like to reinstate it as a regular day, of course, under these circumstances, and now make the new election day, that is June 2nd, 2020, as our new Act 80 day.
Great. Thank you for sharing, Dr. Sneath. And I know as time continues that additional information you'll make available to parents and families and reminders regarding that. So thank you. The recommendation for the modification of the 2019-2020 calendar is approved.
Thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
all for tonight. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Samuels. Office of Operations and Office of Accountabilities, they do not have any items for your consideration this evening, but I do want to quickly note The work that's being done in both those offices right now is tremendous, especially in the support of the COVID-19, among academics, business services, HR, et cetera. But certainly there are no items being there tonight is not reflective on the amount of work that's being done in those areas. It's tremendous, the support both are providing during these difficult times. So I just want to thank both those office directors for their continued work and support, and make sure I recognize that for you, Dr. Samuels.
No, thank you for noting that. And they're certainly working very aggressively and doing, work to be applauded. So thank you very much.
Okay. I'd like to move on to policy recommendations, and I will turn it over to Ms. Lillis again from Human Resources. Ms. Lillis.
Thank you, Mr. Selmer. This evening I have 8 policies recommended for approval by Dr. Samuels. You can see them listed there. Policy 304, the employment of district staff. As a quick description of the change to this policy, it will be updated to include the addition of pre-employment requirements for the prospective employees, as well as reaffirming the district's employment history review of each candidate prior to issuing an offer of employment to the candidate. Policy 308 is an employment contract. This updates the policy and adds detail to what contract resolution must contain, including the beginning compensation, the terms of employment and work period for which compensation will be paid, a statement of the fringe benefits entitlement, and a statement of seniority rights, if any. The third policy is policy 304, personnel files. This policy is updated to include immigration and naturalization documentation that shall be kept in a file separate from the employee's personnel file per federal mandate. Number 4 is policy 336, personal necessity leave. This policy is updated to reflect current practice for the request of personal days and updates the bereavement language contained in our current policy. The 5th policy, policy 343, paid holidays. This policy update is minimal, including a 1-word addition and a 1-letter change to the current policy. Similarly, number 6, policy 347, our workers' compensation transitional return to work program. The minimal change there is updating the date from 2012 to 2020. Our 7th policy request for approval is policy 351, drug and substance abuse. This policy is updated to delineate responsibility for certain district administrator tasks within the policy. And my final request for policy approval this evening is policy 818, contracted services. And this policy for our contracted services includes extensive updates and requirements for independent contractors, including mandating proof of tuberculosis testing for all independent contractors prior to working with students, confidentiality statement, training required, child abuse reporting, etc. These are all mandated to be included in our contracted services contracts for our independent contractors.
Great. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for the highlights, Mrs. Lillis. Policy 304 regarding employment of district staff. Policy 308 regarding employment contracts. Policy 324 regarding personnel files. Policy 336 regarding personal necessity leave. Policy 343 regarding paid holidays. Policy 347 regarding workers' compensation, a transitional return to work program. Policy 351 regarding drug and substance abuse, and policy 818 regarding contracted services in reference to tuberculosis, as you described. These 8 policies are approved. And thank you,
Thank you, Dr. Sam.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Selmer, are there any additional items?
Just a few as we close, Dr. Samuels. I do want to make an announcement regarding the prom and also an upcoming date for an announcement on graduation. So over the past 2 weeks, we as an administrative team have been meeting with our high school administrative teams from the Cougar Academy, John Harris, and Sci Tech, along with 6 student leaders who are reflective of those 3 buildings in our school district. And we had a phenomenal meeting with our student leaders last week. We were on for about an hour and a half discussing next steps regarding both of these milestone events, given the situation we're under with COVID-19. So a letter will go up on the website tonight announcing that we are going to postpone the prom. We do have a rescheduled date of July 11th, 2020. And regardless of what is occurring within the state of Pennsylvania, we will have an event on July 11th, 2020. And we're working with our seniors to outline whether it will be a traditional prom or there will be a untraditional event that will still celebrate the prom and celebrate some of the history with Harrisburg and our students being part of a red carpet type event with music, etc. So the seniors came up with some phenomenal ideas. Again, plan A, we all keep our fingers crossed that we're back to a normal operating condition and we're all able to gather again. But if not, we have a plan B, and I want to thank our student leadership for their phenomenal input and their ideas. And truly, they're leading the class of 2020 through this very difficult time. And the promise we made last month to our students and to our families is that we would include our students and hear their voice and make sure they were reflective and involved with the decision making we would make regarding these key events. And we have done that with the prom. As far as commencement, we are going to wait and we're looking at a date of April 30th of making an announcement on next steps with our 2020 commencement ceremony. And again, through the work of our students, we are formulating a plan A and a plan B for that event as well. So again, I want to thank our student leaders for their phenomenal ideas and leadership during this very difficult time. I do want to announce we are going to have a budget workshop on May 11th, 2020. It'll be a virtual budget workshop. And we are getting ready to head into some very uncertain times budgetarily. And Mr. Longridge and Ms. Edling have been working diligently and looking at different scenarios that could play out regarding our budget. And again, we are going to do everything we can within our power to try and forecast what's going to happen appropriately, budget for it appropriately, and make the appropriate decisions that still support our students within the Harrisburg School District. But to sit here and say that we do not have concerns would not be genuine and would not be accurate. So we absolutely have concerns regarding the impact of COVID-19, specifically on our revenues, our projected revenues before the COVID-19 situation, and now what our revenues could project to be moving forward. So again, we will continue to work with Dr. Samuels, our receiver. We'll continue to work as a team and try and just as we work forward, be transparent and put out accurate information so the community understands the challenges we may have and how we're going to overcome them, because that is the key. We are going to figure out a way how to move forward and do it in a way that has the least negative impact on our students in the Harrisburg School District. That's what we have to do. We don't have a choice, and I'm confident working together we will figure it out and navigate these very uncertain times here in the Harrisburg School District. Mr. Longridge or Ms. Edling, any comments on budget before I transition?
No, I don't have any comments. Just to echo everything that you said. This is just a very uncertain time, and we'll present the public and Dr. Samuels our plan in May.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And my last comment is I just want to say thank you. I want to thank the volunteers that have continued to help us at our distribution sites. We've seen, in some cases, the same volunteers there from day one, which includes some of our board members who are on this call this evening. So I want to say thank you for your continued and support of our students and families in the Harrisburg School District. I want to thank our parents, our staff, our administrative staff and team, and the school board, and you, Dr. Samuels, for your continued support and guidance during this very, very uncertain time in public education. So again, I want to thank everyone for their continued support, and I want to thank our students for their flexibility and understanding and really trying to navigate these very, very uncertain times that have disrupted what they're accustomed to, how they live on a day-to-day basis. So again, I just want to say thank you for all the support, and we appreciate it from the administrative team here. We greatly appreciate it. So thank you. Dr. Samuels.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much for your leadership, Mr. Selmer, in navigating, these uncharted waters here in the Harrisburg School District. I also like to underscore, what you mentioned in reference to the budget, and the hard work of Mr. Longridge and Ms. Edling, and you, Mr. Selmer, as we are navigating that very, very important piece. It's really critical. And so more information to come so that we are, very transparent. And so I do hope that, folks will look forward to the May 11th meeting that is scheduled, and more information will be shared about the budget and budget status. And I too would like to thank you again, all of our teachers, our staff, the administrative team, the board members, our students and families, for staying focused and, continuing to move, as we need to keep children at the center. So thank you very, very much. And once again, we honor and we salute Mr. Gerald Welsh, our school board member. And again, we extend our deepest, condolences to his family. And again, appreciate all that he did for the broader community and for the Harrisburg School District. Thank you so very much. And on that note, the meeting is officially adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.